We've got a few minutes for questions.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
David, you said, when you heard his slide, you said 14 months to detect it.
Say again?
It said it took 14 months to detect a hack.
Yes, on average.
Yeah, on average. I mean, what do you do about that to try to compress that? I mean, how do you know if something's going on? I mean, how does the company, if that's true, what can you do about it?
Yes, so that is where the detection portion of this comes in so critically. Firewalls nowadays have the ability to, like I said, not only just be the doorman to block bad traffic from coming in, but the traffic that does come in, there's various vendors that can do this. We're actually working on a project with Ryan right now to implement a solution that will watch the entire network with the ingress, the egress points. How ransomware works is once it gets onto your network, it makes a call out. So your hardware, software solutions might not detect that machine getting infected unless it has really good detection methods. But it will find the call out to the bad guys to start executing the code and send the ransom dollar amount and stuff like that. That's where you catch it.
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag. And then some, depending on the solution, it will actually be able to trace the path through the network to Susie's computer. I like to pick on Susie. It'll actually get back to the source of the infection.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
When I used PCs, I always had all kinds of antivirus programs and things like that. Then I switched to Apple and Macs. I like them, but they don't recommend, they discourage using any kind of outside software for security. They claim they're secure. I'm very uncomfortable with that. Do you have any recommendations about programs that you can put on a Mac that are good to provide some extra layer of protection?
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Macs are targeted. They're not immune. They are a smaller target. Obviously, Microsoft runs the world for business, so there's a lot more Microsoft operating system computers than there are Apple computers. But Apple is still very much a target. It's a Linux-based operating system. So yeah, they make all kinds of. I mean, the company that we recommend is ESET, ESET. We work with them a lot. They don't advertise because they really don't need to. They're a Slovakian company, I believe. They spend a lot of time in detecting ransomware and the really bad stuff today. So take a look into that. It's a pretty good product. I thought I saw one up here. Yes, sir.
So for companies, I work with a client, it's called Cyber Defense Lab. And so the question was asked, what can you do? And I assume Preferred Technology does this as well. You do kind of an assessment to see how vulnerable they are.
Absolutely.
Right, and then you do some penetration testing. You have red teams.
We do all of that, yes.
So you do all that, so you test, you can tell the IT director, we're coming in, they want to tell their people, they'll tell them, if not, it's by surprise. And you do that on a quarterly basis, and then you have procedures that you put in place. And then there's software like Alien Vault, right, that you can use for managing and monitoring and being proactive, because what's happening is, these people who are coming in, they're not just coming in unaggressively. Certainly you have people with an agenda, but it's the ones like ISIS, ISIL, and Al-Qaeda who are trying to raise money. And this is how they raise money. So they're serious about what they go after. This year it will be probably $3 billion or maybe $4 billion that they're going to get out of the United States of America. And so it's really critical, but you can prevent it. It's just a matter of having the right team on it to ensure that you...
Very, very well said. Thank you for that. Absolutely. In fact, we're engaged in a project with Chapman Hext to do all of that. We're going to be conducting an advanced penetration test. That's when we have some certified ethical hackers. That's what they're called. These are both automated tools and very talented people. We're going to try and break into your network. And any vulnerabilities we find in that case, we go back and close up and shore up.
We dovetail people so that they can also see if they can fish, whatever they can do. The whole idea is to see what's not working, because we understand what he says. I mean, we've got people, clients, all this stuff. And our concern is, from just our perspective, Social Security numbers, account numbers, all the data that we have on clients. That's the kind of stuff the CEO keeps me awake at night, because again, it's what you don't know that will be happening. And I agree with you. I mean, I think we have to be just as vigilant about this as we do with setting the alarms on our homes, with watching what's going on. I mean, we're foolish and we're naive if we think this kind of stuff won't happen. And that's why we felt like it was so important to do this today, was not to alarm people, but simply to say, hey, whatever you're doing, you need to double check it. It probably needs to be a little bit more, and you just need to be diligent about it and regular. And people just get lax and they forget. And people are our biggest concerns that are internally trying to service people, take care of people, and they inadvertently do something.
Yeah, it's a call to action. I mean, part of my role, obviously, in speaking with great groups like you guys is going out and educating our clients. Sitting down and what to look for, what to pay attention to. We work with companies that have their own internal IT departments, and we work with companies that we are their IT department. They have no internal staff, so they rely on us for education, writing acceptable user policies, backup and disaster recovery policies, training, all that kind of stuff we do. So that was great comments. Thank you.
One other thing, you were talking about the encryption. We do that because I travel a tremendous amount internationally and trying to make sure that emails are encrypted, machines are encrypted, phones are encrypted, everything. So that, and we even have that service available with our clients that they want a securely encrypted phone or email and stuff, depending on what country they're in, trying to deal with things and do business, that all that's available. And I think it's just the world we live in.
Your credit card, right?
Yeah.
Those chips are a pain in the neck.
Oh.
Right? But they're encrypted.
Yes.
And what happens when they don't work and you have to slide it, now you open up vulnerabilities again where they can capture that information. So that PCI compliance group is a good one, but it's not yet covering what happens when we have to swipe line.
And by the way, Target that I talked about, they were PCI compliant,
Yeah.
and it didn't save them.
Your hand up.
Yeah, you talk about personal data, so not just company data. So a lot of people in this room have a lot of company emails, a lot of company documents that have a lot of things on there. And there's a big trend now to back up your things on OneDrive or Google Docs, or things like that. How do those interact with these ransom attacks? So if somebody gets into, somehow got onto my computer, and you talk about they lock down every one
Yes.
of your files. Well, you're kind of led to believe if you're backed up onto OneDrive, whether it's business OneDrive or personal OneDrive, does that really protect?
That is an excellent question. So there are varying degrees of quality, right? OneDrive is the consumer cloud backup. There's others. We use another company. Can I tell them who we use? Sure. All right, so we use Intronus, which is actually owned by Barracuda. Intronus has the ability to detect some things that OneDrive doesn't. Excuse me. As you may or may not know, backups can become corrupted too. This Canadian business person I told you they got hit with ransomware, they may have actually had a backup, but that one of the encrypted computers that was being backed up, it spread to the backup job. So backups can become corrupted to where it's just as worthless as if you don't have it back up. So that's where you need to worry about your endpoint, keeping your endpoint as secure as possible. ESET I recommended for the gentleman with Apple's computers. ESET's great for Windows as well. They really focus on. So let me talk just briefly. I don't know how we're doing on time.
Probably got 3 minutes.
Okay, I'll briefly discuss this. So there's really two schools of thoughts in anti-malware software. There's signature-based, which goes back to the 80s. That means there's a virus out there, the industry recognizes it, we write a profile, a fingerprint for that. The problem with signature-based detection is it can't defend against ransomware because ransomware is designed not to have a signature. It's designed to, somebody clicks the wrong email, it comes on very silently, makes a call back to the command and control center, and then executes code through that link. So that's where the other product, it's called behavioral-based detection. Behavioral-based detection looks at things like, my Internet Explorer shouldn't be encrypting my files. My Outlook or Excel shouldn't be deleting my shared folders. So it can react much more quickly to ransomware and things that corrupt your data with behavioral-based detections. Industry, again, kind of slow to react to this. Some do it better. We feel like ESET does it the best. Others are trying to incorporate the detection signature-based with behavioral-based. So that's something to pay attention to. And that'll help prevent your backups becoming corrupted because it catches the infection first before it's backed up. Hope that helped.
Liam, last question.
Real quick, if your cell phone is stolen or something, you just call the company and they'll flip it off and block everything. Is there a product or something you can do with laptops where you can?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we also offer solutions to, we partner with a company called Awareness Technologies, and we resell this product. It's really amazing. I know I'm short on time, so I won't gush about it. But they actually got started after the September 11th terrorist attacks. They were involved with the FBI and NSA in tracing the source of all the emails and cyber technical that was involved in that terrorist attack. So this company came out of that mess, and they make pieces of software that goes on your cell phone, your laptop, that will do geolocation, so it can follow your laptop as you travel with it. It'll track everything down to an individual keystroke. It can record every key on device or laptop. And then it can also, it also incorporates what we call data loss prevention. So if it is lost or stolen, we can execute commands to destroy it.
So that was my next question. The LifeLocks and those companies out there, this type of company does the same kind of coverage.
Well, it's not like LifeLock, but it will track where, if you're interested in protecting your laptop, it'll follow it around. So it has, Wi-Fi on and geolocation, so it can see where your laptop has been and what it's doing. It can see what's being, it basically will track all the activities of that device. And then it can alert you if like, let's say it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to somebody else, and the business owner doesn't want an email going out to a competitor divulging, it'll detect that and let you know that data loss prevention.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We promise everybody we'll let you out by 9, and so feel free to stick around. We're all going to be here for a while. You're welcome to network, meet each other. That's the other great thing about doing this. Thanks again, David.
Thank you very much, Greg. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys very much. Thank you.